support. Within our National Commission for Democracy. So we the support participation in governance. National Commission for Democracy. So we the support.
Family, good afternoon. Una welcome to the usual NCD HOUR program when they come to una fortnightly. That is after every 2 weeks. Today we also they come and discuss something very, very important. The topic we will discuss today now a good governance analysis on disaster prevention and mitigation. Now that's the topic we will discuss today. But before we start for discuss this topic, we go give NCD updates. We also give, we give a line of the Constitution regarding what we talk about. But before we start all this discussion, make I first of all start with introducing members of the panel who will help me talk about this topic today way I just don't introduce to now. But I will start with the Wawodin and far right.
Yes, my people Murakushe.
The man we just greet una so na the chairman for the National Commission for Democracy and Dr. Abubakar Hassan Kagbo. And the man with the next to me again go greet Fambulem.
Fambulado, welcome to the program.
And this man will introduce himself to me again. This na Charlie Israel Williams. This na man we always deal with we na this we program. And he don't they do well, and he somebody where they research extensively, and he has been contributing, very well to the programs. Like I say, the program or the topic we they discuss today, now a critical analysis we they do from the good governance perspective of this disaster and prevention and mitigation. But before we start to discuss the topic proper, make I just give you an update on the activities of NCD within this past 2 weeks. First of all, NCD don't issue a press release with regards this disaster where we just get in this country, where we believe say some people still the moon because we know how hard this disaster hits we Sierra Leoneans, and we also believe say this now something where we need for talk about because we as we pray for make we not get this kind of problem again at this country. So again we need for work very hard and ensure say we put measures in place for make sure say it not happen again. And NCD also visits the site outside the mudslide occur. NCD visit the site because they want for like show solidarity with the victims. NCD also don't present in 2018 budget. Now the budget here in Namiata Conference Hall. These are the activities, the activity updates for the National Commission for Democracy for the past 2 weeks. Regarding the perspective on the Constitution, the focus for today we they talk about we go refer to section 5 subsection 2 paragraph B of the 1991 Constitution. This section of the Constitution they tell we say the security, peace and welfare of people na Sierra Leone na the primary purpose and responsibility of the government of Sierra Leone. So because of that, the military, the police and all other security agencies need for ensure say them protect and safeguard the people of this country we na Sierra Leone. Now I go ask me panelists them for make themselves go come up with the take of the week or the take of these 2 weeks. Because we need for give them the opportunity for them come up with something where we go discuss something of national importance. I will start with the chairman for the National Commission for Democracy, when Dr. Abubakar Hassan Kagbo.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I think for the past 2 weeks, for me, one important thing apart from this disaster, but something related to disaster, now I see people in the reciprocate with the foreign policy of Sierra Leone. It shows the foreign policy of Sierra Leone is very effective. How? When this thing happen, we see the Mano River Union states they come sympathize with we. We also see countries like China, we see Nigeria, we see a host of other countries, including Israel. They come for can sympathize with Sierra Leone. Small Sierra Leone, with 7 million people. But it should say Sierra Leone not there alone. Sierra Leone get party them. So I think say na a good sort of sign this for say with foreign policy, particularly under this present regime, is very effective. And we don't see him, it don't manifest itself by the amount of people who sympathize with Sierra Leone.
Okay, that's good. You realize that the chairman they talk about the relationship with other countries and the foreign, I mean, the foreign relationship with other countries we very good because as we get this disaster, we see the kind of support we get from other countries. Where Mr. Sef, I feel say we did for appreciate that. That they should say we need to get a very good relationship with the countries we then at the neighborhood and even the countries where they far because we see support also they come from other countries where they are far. Yes, Mr. Williams, what do you take for this week?
Yes, I think say well, just the same way as countries in the help we, when we they in need, when we get disaster, when we they in a very difficult moment, the same way we serve, for the things say we need for also help with neighbors if they serve they into difficulties. Now help can be in any shape or form.
Okay.
It not just means say you have to give something, So something and they even you advise, your encouragement all can. But I just want to take me peek from waiting on the happen this week we the end so NEC don't begin exhibition.
Okay.
The one that will be register NEC say for go check for your name, for see say your name did and the details that we then take for you, like how they spell your name, who's how you tap, them basic information and they about you. And next say for go check so that when the final register go come out, you not go say them get something wrong or your name not did or something. I mean because anything when a mortal man they do, mistake kin they okay. So I think say everybody for make time, just like when we make time for go register, everybody for make time for go check a name and see say a name day in details and correct so that the rest assured say when time come for vote they go able for participate. Okay. If you make lazy you not go, anything happen thereafter you not go get possible game.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, they also tell you about the exhibition where they go on. I feel say this now also an opportunity for me. We also remind members of the public out there, especially the one that will be have been registered for these elections, for make them go at these centers and make sure say them at least verify the information where we don't give, make them make sure say at least for know whether in fact the information we then give the information and the register. Thank you very much. We be also invite somebody from the Office of National Security will be supposed for the part of this program, but unfortunately we never see it with the hope say a good journey as we go on. Him be supposed for giving in fact even updates about this disaster. But since another day we will continue with the program. We hope say when it comes we go back to that. Chairman, we just get this disaster now this country. We they talk about areas them way risky for live, then call them disaster prone areas. This don't in several other places in the country, especially if we don't get this problem all the time within the camp. Every year we get this kind of problem. What's not the risk them really we involved for reside in some of the areas they ask where they refer to as risk. Risk areas them when are prone areas them disaster prone areas them for live. What's not the risk we involved?
Mr. Moderator, the risk is beaucoup, but when I can see people like in one interpret certain things and they bring the metaphysical, like say, all man put okay, we all believe God. For say okay, God now they bring, but disaster them, nothing way a natural. A natural then again, people then can speed them up. They can wait man call they can accentuate them. They can fast. For example, if you na mortal man, they say this particular place not fit for live because it is disaster prone. Then you go tap it. Don't the thing actually happen? Say rain they come boku. Then tell me we get climatic changes. We don't bring trouble can the whole world. Rain can come, it overflow, it bring flood. If you dey near the riverside, you know for say you likely for be a victim. You know say there are certain areas that they hilltops them where people when they go build house, they know say gutters and no dey, sewage system no dey. A likely when they cut the trees, you know, we go for all the farm, the dirty, that the ground, they all know dey. It then they boku them particular places then they na Sierra Leone where even they not identify them, they not tell people and say they not for dey. But people them, I don't know. Whether because you know what's in a poverty, because not to poor man they no more dey. Or to poor man they no more below stay. You get gentleman with below stay. But why then they steal? For example, like Guma. They may not talk say, okay, Guma, then they supply water. People don't never go billion that. People are still building with impunity. They don't respect the rule of law. So then kind of thing and we for stress the respect for the rule of law, let people then left for the go, live and the day, you know, so that when disaster come, it not go reach, you know, people in Boku. Because you can't stop flood, you can't stop rain, you can't stop thunderstorms, you can't stop hurricane, you can't stop fire. You know, you can't stop it, you go mitigate them, you go reduce them. Because that's the day, it's foreseeable. For say, if you go live in a place where bad, when water don't soak the hill with the dirty, it can cut on. Yes, it's possible. That is for none. As a human being, now it's rational. Scientists don't tell me anything today. So we for still tell people and say, for now degrade the environment is wrong. Now for the EPA, you know, then they tell people them, but people are still trying to me. I just want to know why people them still trying to then they go build Nassau water they pass. Some of them block the waterways. When we small, we don't see the Johnson Spring through Sabagota. But you find out for say then water then they because the gutter there. So they go announce someone say 1 or 2 people they die. They pull them from up the hill, they pass, they go Kelgona Krube. But now the disaster when they happen, when people don't go block them place where water they pass, you find out for say we get casualties like the 14th of August. We lost past, you know, almost 1,000 people there. If we don't build past 500, the other one then they don't but on the ground go neighbor pool. When they say they equal the number where we don't build. So then here, not for say people don't go want let people don't go, they go below. But if you build na the side where safe. And the country and the government may not tell people them the places they are always safe, wait for bill. But people they still, well, if you're Trangaeso or they in connivance with other authorities and more, but they go build it and now look what will happen. Me I never see things like this in my life when I go cry at the place. Because you know, we don't see that kind of thing in this country. But we can see again the human factor play. Again. Now for that people and then they really say, now God don't give you the eye. God don't give you the brain for think. God don't give you all the instruments like the hand them, all the things for think for user rationally. For use them for say this thing possible. If it's possible, therefore, if for safeguard. But people still take risk. You know, so Mr. Moderator, the places and they we're prone to them disaster they are, we as a people do ya let we left. Now we find other areas then. And yeah, I go say government for coming so that we'll get safer places then, safer environment then, where people can able live. Where if they not agree, they go back. Then they for take action. I could remember the Bay incident where they relocate people there, carry them go somewhere. Now mile 6. Some people don't come back. Some people don't come back to freedom. So yes, we know some people the one can see light na freedom. People the one can find they live in a freedom. But make sure so you live in a place where safe.
Okay.
I'll stop so far, sir.
Yes, Chair, you talk about, natural disaster. That you tell me, see, now things are more able for stop, able for mitigate.
Yes.
Now, but if I now say for most of what's in they happen right now, because almost every year when rains they come, they get this kind of problem. You must get flooding, and you see how people and they become victim of them kind of problems and they. But yes, still people are still continue for them and them places there also. now chairman dey tell me say we need for respect the rule of law, and we sef no suppose for dey contribute to that kind of problem, because the human factor, like chairman dey say, he say the motor man themselves can accentuate am, that is themselves can contribute,
Yes.
because of their actions sef na dem places dey also, that dey help when in fact if rain come or flooding take place, it dey affect the people and we dey get so many disaster.
Exactly.
Charlie, what you go talk about, I mean the human aspect, or the human contribution, the way how human beings and they contribute for make this thing serious, or wey dey make we dey get that kind of disaster.
Okay, I go look at them in two ways. The first thing I want to say na that, just as chairman say, you not go able for stop natural disasters. For example, in some countries we get some disaster where not go happen na ya, so volcanic eruption, you know, we get tsunami, you get then tremor, you get them wild bushfire, okay, hurricane. Some of them things they not even there, so they not ever experience them, okay. But waiting them people and they don't do na some of them place they don't put themselves in readiness for say in case this thing be, the effect where it go get on human lives go be minimal or none at all. That is what they've done. In our own case, we have not done anything. Say if this thing happen, at least if it happen, how many damage it will cause, almost people will be affected. We just, you know, like when I say we are at the mercy of the disaster. We just wait. You see, so I mean, so now then two things and there I want for look at quickly. Now, on the fact say we're not able to stop natural disaster from occurring, okay, that one is granted. I mean, you know, able to stop rain from coming. There is nothing we can do. Even scientists, the way they do weather seeding, you know, they can just postpone, defer the rain for come. But it will come, surely.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, they can seize the weather, the cloud, so that it not rain. But that's just for some time. It will must come. Okay, so that is granted. But on the other side, how prepared we be? Say if it happen, at least are safe, are able to hide. That is where we need for really pay attention at this country. If it happen, waiting for do. You know. So, and chairman make mention of something very important. He say, even though this natural disaster, they bound for happen, some of them, really, but mortal man can aggravate the situation. Okay. Human conduct and behavior can make the situation worse. For example, the deforestation, you know, the bush. Waiting then at the bush will make a unique. And the fact say grass they grow, trees they grow, you know them big trees, and then you get stone, them rocks, then so all that put together, the soil, the dirty, it triangle, you know, it day together. But when you go, you cut the tick, you broke the stone. You know, people now they mine stone. Stone mining is a very big business in Freetown.
Okay.
Stone mining. And stone mining na something where you go say illegal. Illegal in the sense, some of them side and the way people they go mine stone, they're not supposed, they're not get no business there. So when you don't cut the tick, you don't expose the dirty, then you the stone way ola, you they go pull them for book, for billows. Okay? All of them things and the way they happen, they make the dirty, it become weak and not get rank again.
Okay.
So like how they talk about this aspect of hurricane. For we sometimes you don't call an hurricane. But let's say it's thunderstorm. Them breeze we can blow. You not gonna know how important thick them be. Where breeze they blow. Some breeze they take roof. One whole building, they get at the roof, it fly and go even outside. But if you get thick them around, you see, tell me the way we plant the acacia wood. You know when that tree planting project come, most of the side where they do the tree planting and the people and don't cut them from billows. I remember then they would plant acacia wood, free some tree planting. But in all of this discussion, really, I just want for end and side. I go back to section 5 of Act number 6, 1991. You know, it say the security, the peace, the welfare of the people of Sierra Leone Now the primary purpose and the responsibility of government. For me, I think say now this I want for depend on. Because there is one thing I know, people go always broke the law. People go always do things their own way. People always want to beat the system, but I think say me want for rely on section 5, paragraph B.
Mr. Moderator.
Yes. We go talk about security. It will be part of the discussion.
Okay.
I don't know if there's something on that.
Now something on the government in own sort of way if you look at.
Okay.
You know,
that will be
protect the people and the young people their own obligation. Because I want to see how I can bring the two together.
That will be the next question. Why they ask
right,
Let me just remind Famulem say the program where they watch now NCD HOUR, where they come to them from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation Television. Today we discuss the how we go prevent and mitigate disaster. At least we try to analyze that from the governance or good governance perspective. We were in at the studio. We get the chairman for the National Commission for Democracy, winner Dr. Abubakar Hassan Kagbo, and we also get Mr. Charlie Israel Williams, winner an activist. He always did with me for the promote. I mean, the good governance messages them or lessons them who can come with on TV. And we really presents this program. Winner Ibrahim Sirajuba. Yourself will get an opportunity for contribute to the program, and the number where you go send your message to now 076 209247. The number again is 076 209247. There I come now to Chairman. Chairman, Mr. Williams don't talk a lot about some of the risks that we involve, especially the human contribution, the things and way people in they do. And you find out you end in talk with something very, very important and something very interesting. That is, you get a government where this government perhaps need for take up a responsibility, because one of the responsibilities is to make sure so they protect the people their life and their property. Now how you go relate this with some of the disasters and we always they happen in this country, and what if you see forbid your role?
Well, that's at the core of the social contract between government and the people. Government gets the sort of, I say the liability for protecting people. But who is government? Government are just a few bureaucrats them, when I say perhaps in thousands, right? But the people them, therefore support the efforts of government. Government go legislate the law and make sure say they implement the law. But the people therefore adhere to this law. Okay. So that's so you get both sides. When government implements and government makes sure say monitor and sort of ensure say the law is adhered to. These are the problems alone. Okay. The law, people really respect the law. Not for say laws are not there. Laws then they about this thing. And I've been not seeing they call some people that will live in an area. They say, "Uno not tap yonder." They make a belt where people for not for day. And see say
for cross.
Several tell them. They don't beat up people and they don't even kill people and they. Who don't do and the people them. So then people will say, government no one follow we tap yonder. Government no one follow better. I feel that the people then at them we need for sensitize. People don't understand. You know, people will see some fine land. They don't know say prone to disaster. We for tell them say now climate change don't change all things in the world. You cannot just sit down, say because what you want to do, you go do against the law. When law don't there, it gets meaning, it gets reason why they put on there. So me feel say, yes, government get the right in terms of the social contract for ensure say it protects its citizens, which is why they bring the law come for they implement the law so that people don't adhere. But the adherence, compliance, now very, very important to the part of the people. Me feel say the people then look whether I not go say now understand or don't understand, or they're ignorant, or some people they know, but they don't just follow them. We need for zeroing in that particular aspect there. People left on the ace.
Okay. Chairman, you talk about adherence of the law, therefore adhere to the law,
yes.
Right? This is not a government, and this government is supposed to protect the lives and property of the people there also. Now, if government don't put this law, even though you find out the government don't embark on sensitization, the NCD and a lot of other institutions, the EPA, even the ONS, they can pull press releases and inform people and say, then areas they are so areas them way risky. Let people not build also, let people not dwell against it. Yet the people they continue to do that. We can still remember at one point when government will be get a disaster, where governments go relocate people and go build for them and then come back. So you don't feel say the government even get something for do apart or further than that, that is apart from just sensitizing and giving out the information, you not really then get something further for do for make sure say the people them adhere to the laws.
Well, government they get thing for do. Government don't promulgate the law on a specific sort of issue. If we make sure say they implement that law there, for that the objective of that law there irrealizable. You understand? So government can compel the individual.
Okay.
If you know, if you go against the law, then government they can go sue them people and they can go before the law and then punish them. Government get the power there because government, the most important thing, get the power of, for coerce. And that power they get the monopoly of power. And when they get the monopoly of power, if for sure and those who think otherwise, then one they will not agree, obey the law. You understand? Because if you get them, then a state of nature we still get. We don't pass state of nature. Well, man, they do what you want. All man, they grab what you want. Now, the state we get. The state in apparatus will make sure say they function very well. Waiting government don't say, now people have to do. That transaction people don't want to do them. They do it with impunity. They don't do nothing. Now, I can give example to that people they continue for them. But government get the monopoly of power. And if they get and they will make sure say them. They actualize the objective of the law. It means to say people they listen. They're not going to do anything here. This thing will happen. We will get past 1,000 people die. No, even for minimize. Now they put it for understand for minimize. But when they're done, they'll go bring God kind inside it. When they're done, they'll go bring a metaphysical thing. Somebody said and see some awesome person, they talk say a disaster go for them. Someone they predicted. No, for me, I'm a religious man, but I believe in rationality.
Okay.
I believe in rationality. I believe say when we carry the worker, it run at 50, 60 miles per hour, I for run. Even cow, one siam, I will in a corner. Because if he bought me, no problem. If you bang me, if you not kill me, I will in hospital. Okay. That's the lessons of history. But why people don't steal? Is it poverty? Is it a cycle of poverty? No. They want to build this so not gentleman. So why?
Okay.
Option not there.
Okay, so Chair, you tell me say in final just because people don't work for respect, say let me go be inside, and maybe some people not they use in rationale well.
Now for that we need sensitization.
Yeah.
We need more sensitization.
Okay, we get institutions and we responsible for allocate land in this country, and we also get institutions and we able to say now they even for sure they can also for building in certain areas. I feel same way. In fact, when you look at all the things and when they follow all the rules and they. You find out say you know go see some government no know about.
Exactly.
Any also them build any site.
Exactly.
Government must know about them because one you need for even take permits. Mr. Williams, looking at the responsibility of these institutions. Now when you look at government, well let me look at the specific institutions where perhaps get responsibility. Now like this, you find out say you get the ONS where then get disaster units at ONS we need for the money so you also get EPA, you get NPA, you get NPA, except another one then you get the Ministry of Lands. You understand, and then gets them various departments anyway. If somebody they build any structure at any corner of this country, or let's be specific, so don't just specify and first to Freetown. Any corner where somebody they build structure, now this Freetown, then people also need for no bottom, they need for in fact even approve for make them go ahead. So but if I find out the people in the acquire lands without even the knowledge of the institutions they also, and then they build. Then the institutions them I don't know really if like the institution they know or they don't know whether they just give a blind eye. What if you see that the role and responsibility of these institutions they be responsible for NCD?
Okay, I think say Chairman don't make some very solid points. Following up from what I say in relation to section 5. I think say also in as much as government gets the responsibility for make sure say the people they enjoy peace. They enjoy security and also their welfare. But also, you have to ask this question. If problem come, who that will suffer? If trouble be, who that will suffer? And so in as much as yes, government get the responsibility for ensure say people then safe, people then get security and all. But you the individual, you don't want to wait until government protect you. You want to protect yourself. So now that side we need the education more for make people know say, you know, I always can tell some people, you know, some man like for break traffic, you know, to call broke traffic.
Yes.
Then one-way road, you make an two-way. I tell somebody, I say for broke traffic, sometimes, you know, it's good. You go reach quick. And maybe when nothing happen, you go free. I say the time when you don't know say for broke traffic na problem, now when you go bang person at that road day or then bang you. So now that kind of situation they sometimes people they take advantage of the law, then they take advantage of government, then they take advantage of government agencies, then they do wrong things. When the trouble come, the government institutions they're not they suffer. You know, they only suffer where you go say they suffer and they rebuke the public, all man go they stop all kind of thing and all. But in actual fact, they know they suffer anything. Now you go lost your life, you lost your property. I mean, if you quantify what we lost now Regent Hill, across Canningo, Lumley, I mean, it's in billions. Yes. Just talk about the house where the person bill. The property them. Of course, Motorman life will not go quantify, will not put cost on them. So you see, so that is one thing, the aspect of waiting you for do, for ensure say you self get protection, you get peace and you get security. And then on the aspect of government for ensure say the law is maintained. You know, I get one question. I don't see people they write articles, they talk about this disaster, you know, everybody they level blame and all. For me, I'm talking about the government of Sierra Leone. I'm not talking about who is in governance now or who that been dated. No, I'm talking about the government of Sierra Leone. You know, people they make mention, say Mr. Moore, you know, of blessed memory, then kill him up their side and they when they go broke people their house. You know, as if that is a kind of excuse or something. I want to ask the question, when they kill Mr. Moore, what happened thereafter? What happened thereafter? Did people stop? Did the houses, you know, stop? No. I mean, so we get to understand, it is like people, like government. You know, Chairman say, now people make government. We as Sierra Leoneans, if we not begin to look at issues as Sierra Leoneans, you know, most times as things happen, so people want to go political, begin level blame, begin. I want to ask the same question. Attempts were made, but then got to some point, and then people feared the left arm and all. So, waiting. We are the same. Yeah. We are the same. I mean, if you kill a government official, we go for perform government duty, and then a new someone out there, you know, this been that. What happened thereafter? So for me, the problem in Sierra Leone, and this point I want to make very clear, the problem in Sierra Leone is very historic, and it's continuing. So until we decide, we choose for bring an end to her, we cannot blame it on the future, the present. Okay. It get for do with history.
So you tell me say the problem we they get not to just government as not so like when you look at government from that kind of perspective, it's not just a few people away from government, because even the people themselves get something to do. The people themselves, like what in Chairman say, themselves get the responsibility for adhere to the
Let me just bring this in, Chairman and moderator quick. Let's say, for example, within a community, some communities then get chief, then get some system. You see somebody they can build na the waterway. That institution where they in that community for able for address that issue they not even government. If we then a community, we get chairman, we get this, we get that. We see somebody can build us na the gutter, the water road. We the community people for able to address that issue they even before government they come. Okay. So why do people, I mean, one for they always level blame and this, and then we they forget about the issue when we discuss and today we level blame, we go, we all, then it happen tomorrow back, we go. I mean, we want for live in this blame game situation in this country.
Chairman, you answer something?
Yes. You know, where also I don't church is very important. Let us say now they enjoy the luxury of a state, the state of Sierra Leone, and the state of Sierra Leone for manifest efficient structures. And what they man their structures and the individual. So if the structure fail, now the individual will demand the structure fail. So then institution we call GISNO, we're responsible for the various aspects, be it the environment, be it land, etc. You know, therefore make sure say they strengthen their structures they are. So that when you they go try for bill O's, they don't verify say the right place you the bill O's, then give you permit, you get this other sort of paper for statute O's, etc., etc. Then they monitor them. Therefore, emphasize say that thing way important, and if it be a continuity. That means not just half-hearted normal. Person just can't watch normal say, hey, now use this and that, it go. Because that structure there, where if you get that land there, because of Banco Bluff say, you get land from government, you get land from the Ministry of Lands, they sign them. So therefore, you don't get the fiat for go build any side, or for go build that particular party. Well, now, if government itself, with that structure, they don't find out for say, them particular areas then they no habitable because a disaster pro, I feel say none of go give paper, be it on the cover or otherwise for people to go get paper for go build that them place them be. And that has people need respect the rule of law. So the structures them within them particular areas and they for strengthen them. That is, be it the Ministry of Lands, be it anything we get for do with them disaster thing. Because when I don't talk say we don't go out sensitize people and this and that, but say people them recalcitrant. No, so people them still know they obey the law. But why they not for obey the law? The structures them they're strong enough for make people them for compel people them, because for compel people them for adhere to the law. But the talker will repeat and say the state get the monopoly of power. The state where you go against the dictates of the state go be before the law, then if you guilty, they go sentence that person there. If the state get all that power there, then let them use them for show example to others. Because I remember a political theory say the state of nature been be a state of nature because there was no known law. Mm-hmm. They know law not be there where they know. Mm-hmm. You understand? So everything was free for all. But in the state now, we get non-law. Mm-hmm. If we get non-law, then let me adhere to this law, let us follow this law. Because the law is above everyone. It's not a respect of any person. So if this is true, then put the law, then all man for adhere to the law. Okay. No matter whether you're a big man, small man, middle man, no. You understand? So because human being and believe by example, no sooner would have lay this example, don't flout a particular thing they fala makata. Boy say don't do them. Boy say don't do them. And I say go the fala makata it turn a national disease. And people not be seen again. All man they fight for paper. And no human being get that test, insatiable test for get. Therefore, more like for billows. All man want billows. They don't have no usai for billows, usai not for billows. So this is the problem. So we need for sensitize people let them understand. Say yes, you get right, you get your right for billows, but not to a place where disaster prone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fence outside, say when you
exactly.
You're able to live happily with your family.
Exactly. And government self for make sure say the structure where responsible for give land, then give people the land outside no disaster prone.
Okay, we get text messages and we'll not be able to read them. We'll just read just to like one VC chairman, SLVC chairman is absolutely correct in this analysis and submission. This is like a concerned citizen. The person they try for support will say they see your analysis where they make. Then one other person send message say Sierra Leone is a lawless country. I don't know from which angle where they talk from. But when you look at what's in the happen, you go realize that the people like putting chairman say need for be sensitized, and the people themselves need for make sure so they adhere to the message and what they give them, and make sure so they follow the laws. Because for me to be a good citizen, if I be somebody where they respect the law, if I be somebody where they respect the order. Now we not get term again, the term they almost they between now. Mr. Williams, what do you feel so go be the way forward for make we be able to mitigate or even prevent that kind of thing for making it not happen in this country again?
I think say the way forward for Sierra Leone now that we for be a law-abiding country. Okay. Country where the law they work, country where everybody they freed the law, and the law they bet. Even if we look at development theories and some aspect of philosophy, they tell you say any society where the law not strong, you know, they develop, you know, they better.
Okay. So they tell me say we did forget to country where people and for abide by the law, make sure so they follow the rules. But also enough for stop the law for the bet. Because there are times some people and when you just allow themselves to just do what you want for do, they expect you in a matured person, we expect you will think well,
Yeah.
show understanding and do the right thing. Perhaps they can just decide to just go the other way because of one reason or the other. But that is why you get the law. The law therefore make sure say he enforce the law for make sure say that guide this person for make it will do exactly what he's supposed to do in case you want for in case you want for deviate or in case you want for mistake. Chair, what do you feel say will be the way forward for this problem?
The way forward, since we know say mortal man, now a social animal way unpredictable. Whether we get the law, it go still go and do what you want for do. Government forget stick now the back of the door in terms of disaster preparedness.
Okay.
Disaster preparedness where government go prepare in case of any hola, because because disaster you know prevent them, but let government go to get anything there, at least even a modest one let put in a corner.
Okay.
Because it's possible. Then at the same time you use a two-pronged attack. You get the sensitization. You make us say more vigorous this time, more vigorous, and let the law bet like I will talk. The law for bet, now the sanction. If you law not bet, then not a law.
Okay. They tell you about even the disaster units so they get means the need for be
prepared. Yeah, disaster preparedness, yes, because
for make sure say whenever something like that.
Yes, they get prompt action within the first 6 hours. You know, if you don't get prompt action, because I didn't can't tell you you go able to save people in quick way. If na them bulldozer then we don't get them put we go hold them big stone and that there. So when disaster happens, straight away you go try. You go able sort of do things very very fast.
So like chairman, they say just quickly, they say in fact government even need for get like a whole should I say institution way for like just focus on that. So that like even now like whenever then kind of thing they happen,
yes,
you go at least you go there, you know, just need for begin call so or call this
right, because
you already get to
exactly because disaster is inevitable. It's a natural thing we get for occur. So they don't go tell you the thing where they come, but you prepare. When you prepare, you go mitigate, you go lessen the disaster or you go the loss way you get for bring come. So
Okay.
go for prepare.
Okay, thank you very much. As we hear from Bulem now, the program you just listen to, so the advice them we then give we make sure say we follow their advice. Then the one make we make sure say we follow the laws. What in government tell we for the make we do side we then tell we for build make we build it. Side we then say we not for build it, make we not build it because we know go once for loss we lives and we property them. We also they tell we say we need for get institutions and we perhaps need for always ready for handling situations because so that they able for mitigate the kind problems and the way they come. The program will be they listen to now NCD HOUR where they come to you from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation Television. And I've been get with me at the studio, the chairman for the National Commission for Democracy, winner Dr. Abubakar Hassan Kagbo, and Mr. Charlie Israel Williams, winner an activist. And me will bring the program to you, Mina Ibrahim Sirajoba. Till we meet again, say goodbye.
We say all man gets power to enjoy immortal man rights. And then go about the business with one word. We go push because he go before. This commission waiting not for himself. Is strong. He gives himself for work with other people then. So that they go get education for the people. And then go able to build themselves up as salon people. So that they go able to push transparency, accountability, responsibility, and all the other institutions them for go before. This go make civil society get strength and they go grow and mix with other people then. So that we Sierra Leoneans we go able to touch we alone as people of one country. Yeah, NCD HOUR democracy. Now salon so we the talk about positive acts.